This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're dealing with the GE Laundry Center, the stacked washer and dryer where the washer won't spin. We're going to put in a new lid lock. When we press spin, we can hear it click a couple of times, but the red lid lock light never turns on. So the lid lock has been damaged. Maybe somebody pried open the washer door at some point and it broke it. So we're going to put a new one in. Pretty easy to do. First we're going to make sure we turn off the power either by unplugging it or by turning off the breaker so we have no power. We're going to use a paint scraper or standard head screwdriver to push in on the two clips, the one on the right, one on the left. They're about 3 inches in from the sides. And that'll help let go of the front panel. We also want to remove this panel that's above the washer, between the washer and the dryer. Two Phillips head screws spin out, and you want to lift the panel up slightly and then pull it towards you. And then we just got to pry up. We're going to go underneath the clip and then pry up, and then we can pull the panel toward us. And then it has a couple clips at the bottom. It just lifts off of those clips. And then there's a couple of 1/4 inch screws we have to remove here and here. And once those are off, we'll be able to lift the top panel. So it comes right up. And then there's a couple of attachments underneath. One is this lid switch, which we need to remove. We have to push in on a tab. It's underneath, but it's on the part closest to the back of the washing machine. We're going to push in on that tab and then push that switch up. I'm using a standard head screwdriver to give me a little more leverage. Sometimes you can use your finger. You push in toward you and then lift up, and that'll come up. And then the back side of it, the part closest to you, you can pull that away from you. And then you're going to take, here's that little tab, you're going to take it and push it down into the machine. And then there's two Phillips head screws you want to pull on the lid lock itself, just really short screws. So we zip those out. And here's our new lid switch. The lift up. Here's the old one. And we just have a modular connector we just have to separate. Pretty easy to do. I'm going to take off the top panel now so I can get better access to the lid lock. Here's a new one, and here's a part number. They're pretty cheap. And on this model, those lid locks fail quite often. So I'm going to push in the modular connector. Now I can put the top panel back on. I'm just going to look around a little bit though first to make sure that none of these wires are messed up. Sometimes the spin basket wobbles around so much that it ends up tearing the wires. I'm looking down underneath, making sure that the motor pulley turns and the belt is still connected. That's looking good. I noticed that the rubber suspension straps on each corner have been torn right off of the top of the machine tub. And that means that somebody really overloaded this with blankets or bathroom mats and just tore them off. It'll still work without them, but that's another repair we should do pretty soon. You have to just get a new plastic ring here at the top of the tub that these connect to. So I'm going to put the top panel back in, just slide it in, and then I'll push the lid switch back up inside to that little hole. I'm going to open the lid, and then I'm going to push the back of it toward me and then push down on the top. It'll click into place. So it's really easy to put it back in. And then the lid lock, I'll push it up into position, and then I'll put in those two Phillips head screws. I think this one, somebody just pried open the door and it broke off the little tab that holds the lid down. This machine has seen better days. I think people are just really overloading it with heavy objects like blankets, and it's just shortening the lifespan quite a bit. So these machines are really well suited for towels and sheets and clothing, but not blankets and not bathroom mats. All right, so we got it all into position. We just have to add, we'll plug it back in to test it, and we can put it back together. So give it power. So it's still blinking, so I have to turn it off first. Then I'll put it back on spin, press start. And now we get that red lid lock light going on. There we go. So we know it's working. And we can hear it starting to make its draining and spinning sounds. So that's all it was. Pretty easy fix. Now we just want to put it back together. I'm just showing you here how it's spinning. Again, these are the little suspension straps that have broken off. And I'll get those two screws in to hold in the top panel. Turn it back off. Put the front panel down on its clips at the bottom, and then we just got to push it in at the top, and it should click into place. There we go. And we have to put in the panel in between the washer and dryer, test it one more time. There we go, working great. So thanks so much for watching our video, and please subscribe when you get a chance. Thank you.